so say I do. Okay. Ms. MacArthur, I want to make sure that I ask you personally, while they're fingerprinting Ms. MacArthur, everybody who has remained has been cooperative, but as everyone is parting into the hallway, please, again, there's been enough upset and tragedy and horrible circumstances. Don't add to the situation by getting out in the hall and getting in some sort of back and forth with somebody on the other side of the case. Everybody, I'm going to hand it to the clerk to publish.
Yes. In the Circuit Court in Forest, Escambia County, Florida, State of Florida versus Ashley Britt MacArthur, case number 1717CF005844A. Verdict as to the charge in count 1, we the jury find the defendant, Ashley MacArthur, guilty of first-degree premeditated murder with a firearm as charged in the indictment.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're in Escambia County, Florida for the final chilling chapter of a case that sounds like a Hollywood thriller, except it's real. Meet Ashley Britt MacArthur, a former crime scene technician. She was the person that the public trusted to help solve murders. But in 2017, she became the prime suspect in one. The victim was her close friend, Taylor Wright, a private investigator and former police officer. Prosecutors say MacArthur lured Wright to a family farm, killed her to steal $34,000, and buried her remains under concrete. Let's jump into the courtroom as the jury returns with a decision that will change MacArthur's life forever.
And my understanding is we don't have to have a score sheet because there is only one sentence which can be imposed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, let's start with this. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Okay.
Please state your name, please.
I'm Goldstein Huskins Parker.
And Ms. Huskins Parker, what was your relationship to Taylor Wright?
I was Taylor's aunt.
And is there something you want to say to the court before she imposes a sentence?
Yes, I do want to say that, and I know this is, that I was there when Taylor came into this world, and I'm here today. And I just want you to know that our family has lost so much. A piece of our tree of life is gone. We will never get it back. For us, this is just closing some of the book for the legal, but it doesn't close the book for all the loss. For myself, her father, her stepmother, my husband, my children, my grandchildren, her son, everybody. And that Taylor was taken too early, and she was not taken through an act of God or through illness. She was taken through human behavior that was very cruel. And I could go on, but it's just such a tragic story. But I wanted to thank you, and I'm glad that we came to this decision today.
Thank you. Do you want to say anything to the court? Okay. All right, then, Ashley MacArthur, having been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by a jury of your peers of first-degree premeditated murder with a firearm, I am going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to life with a mandatory minimum 25 years state prison for the firearm.
Life in prison. In many states, a quote-unquote life sentence actually comes with a chance of parole after 15 or 20 years. But Florida is different. Since 1995, Florida abolished parole for most capital crimes. When the judge says life, she generally means life without the possibility of parole. That 25-year mandatory minimum for the firearm acts as a secondary floor to the sentence. This is the ultimate authority collapse. A woman who spent her career working within the justice system to catch criminals is now being permanently removed from society by that same system.
Circuit Court is reconvened. You may be seated, maintain order.
All right, we're back on the record. State of Florida versus Ashley MacArthur, 17 CF 5844. Defendant is present with counsel. Assistant State Attorney is present. My understanding is we have a verdict. Anything from the state? Anything, Mr. Barry Barras?
No, Your Honor.
John Barras?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let me talk to everybody in the audience. Somebody out there is going to be unhappy. I don't know what the verdict is. But if there are people here, I know there are some family members and friends for Ms. MacArthur, and presume that there are family members and friends for Taylor Wright. And I don't know, as I said, we're going to know in 5 minutes or less what the verdict is. But let's talk about your reactions. You may not be happy, but it's not a complete surprise whatever the verdict is. If there is anyone who is going to audibly react, then you need to go ahead and quietly step out now. You need to assume that it's the verdict you do not want. And if you think you would react, you need to step out now. I do not want this jury, who has been, as far as I can tell, a tremendous jury as far as attention and their willingness to serve and being on time, to feel any pressure from reactions from people in the crowd. Not to mention, I have the power of contempt over you. And that's not my goal today, is to hold people in contempt. But I do not want you reacting.
The judge is setting some hard boundaries here, and for good reason. Courtroom outbursts aren't just disrespectful. They can actually jeopardize the integrity of the proceedings or lead to a mistrial if they happen at the wrong time. So-called contempt of court is the judge's ultimate weapon to keep order. Under Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.830, a judge can summarily punish someone for so-called direct contempt if they witness the behavior. She's basically telling the families, I know this is emotional, but if you scream or cause a scene, you're going straight to a holding cell. It's a high-stakes environment, and the tension is clearly at a breaking point.
Once you hear the verdict, if you decide you might be getting emotional, then you can quietly get up and quietly leave. Don't slam any doors. Don't outburst right outside the door. Does everybody understand the rules? This is very important. Okay. Having said that, let's bring the jury in. You have a pen, Renee? All right, and for everybody may have a seat, and for the record, defendant is present with counsel. Assistant State Attorney is present. Are you Mr.? No. Who's my foreperson? Who's got the? Mr. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr., were y'all able to reach a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all I want you to do is to hand it to court security, okay? Thank you. All right, Renee's going to ask y'all each a question, okay?
Is this your individual verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Is
Yes,
this
it
your
is.
verdict? Is
Yes,
this your
it is.
verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
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 Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I always thank my juries, but I've been praising you all week, and that's sincere. I made a big deal on Monday about jury duty being service to your country, and it really is. Y'all came in on Monday, thought you might or might not be picked. The next thing you know, Monday afternoon, you're in a 5-day trial. I appreciate the fact that every day, 15 people got here early or on time so we could start on time. I appreciate the fact that y'all took notes and paid close attention. When I asked you one night if we could stay past 6, you were willing to do it so that we could stay on track. And I appreciate the careful deliberation you gave to the case. So you really have been an outstanding jury, and your participation does you credit. And like I said, this is civil service. This is serving your country, and it's one of, I've said, two most important duties that you can perform in peacetime, and we couldn't have done it without you. It's been a difficult case, and y'all kept a good attitude throughout. A couple things, and I'm going to let y'all go. Jury, court security is going to see y'all to your cars. This does count as your jury service for at least a year. So if we call you or write you, and it's been less than a year, then you can call back and say you were with me and remind them, and you don't have to be here. Let's talk about some of the right that you have not to talk about the case. No one can make you talk about this case or your thoughts and impressions or what you said or anything. You're free now to go home, and you're free now, if you want to talk about the case, you can. If you want to go to live streaming sites or Google anything, you're released from all of that. That's up to you. If you choose, that's your choice, but no one can make you. And if you choose to say nothing, that's fine. I do always reintroduce the attorneys, because I occasionally, when I was a practicing attorney, would have a juror call me, and I found what they had to say helpful. If you want to, if you should bump into the attorneys somewhere out in public, they would never come to you, other than they might wave or something, but they would never come up to you and try to ask you questions or put you under pressure. But if you want to reach out, you can. Bridget Jensen works for Bill Edens, your elected state attorney. Bill Edens' number is in the blue pages. Barry Barosset works for, or is the name person in Barosset and Keene. They have a big house on 9th Avenue that's their business. John Barosset, his son, I believe, is on Government Street, has his own law firm. So if you want to, you can. At any rate, thank you, and that's mostly what I can say. I told you I felt like you were my people. You have been my people, and I'm going to get y'all checked out. I want y'all to be safe out there. Keep monitoring the storm if it should come into the Gulf. I hope that another day, another time, in a year or two, I might see one or two of you again on another case. But for today, you are free to go. Thank you. Everybody can have a seat. Ms. Jensen, any reason we cannot move to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Barry Barosset.
No, Your Honor, there's only one sentence the court can impose.
Okay. Ms. Jensen, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Judge, I do have the aunt of Taylor Wright that would like to be heard before the court imposes sentence. I understand it's a mandatory sentence, but she would like to be heard.
Sure. If you want to maybe turn the podium. All right, Mr. Barry Barosset, do you or does Ms. MacArthur want to say anything before I impose sentence?
Judge, the only thing I would offer in the court, just run this sentence concurrent with her other sentences she's already been sentenced to. That's it.
Okay, I just need all of you to stand. And Ms. MacArthur, I'm going to ask you one question. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do. Okay. Ms. MacArthur, I want to make sure that I ask you personally. While they're fingerprinting Ms. MacArthur, everybody who has remained has been cooperative, but as everyone is parting into the hallway, please, again, there's been enough upset and tragedy and horrible circumstances. Don't add to the situation by getting out in the hall and getting in some sort of back and forth with somebody on the other side of the case. Everybody just needs to go their own way and leave it at that, okay? As soon as I sign the fingerprint card, then I'll be done. Anything else from the state? Barry Barasset?
Your Honor, when do you expect to enter the judgment? We got 30 days from the date of the judgment set.
Is it going to be entered today?
Yes, ma'am, we can do it today.
Or Monday, I was curious.
Do we need to do it today?
We don't have to.
We can do it Tuesday then.
Okay.
I'll have them walk it up to me Tuesday or bring it to court Tuesday, and that way the clock starts running Tuesday if that's better.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Thank you. All right, and with that, all court business is finished.
In the years following this 2019 verdict, Ashley MacArthur attempted to appeal her conviction. She argued that the jury was unfairly prejudiced after being shown a photo of her aiming a shotgun and claimed that her statements to investigators should have been suppressed. However, in April of 2021, the Florida First District Court of Appeal upheld her conviction and life sentence. Along with the murder charge, MacArthur was also sentenced for separate counts of racketeering and fraud related to embezzling money from her former employer. Today, the former crime scene investigator remains behind bars, serving a life sentence for the cold-blooded betrayal and murder of her friend, Taylor Wright. Justice was served, but for Taylor's family, the loss remains permanent.
The courtroom had already delivered its devastating verdict, but the tension still hadn't disappeared. After Ashley MacArthur was sentenced to life in prison for murdering her close friend Taylor Wright, the judge issued one final warning to everyone remaining in the courtroom. Emotions were running so high that she feared confrontations could erupt in the hallway once the hearing ended. MacArthur, a former crime scene investigator trusted to help solve violent crimes, now stood convicted of committing one herself. Prosecutors said she lured Taylor Wright to a farm, murdered her for money, and buried her remains under concrete. Even after the conviction, the legal fight continued through appeals claiming unfair prejudice and improper evidence. But the courts upheld the sentence. In the end, the woman once inside the justice system became permanently trapped by it, while Taylor Wright's family was left carrying a loss no verdict could erase.